This is Transit Unplugged. I'm your host, Paul Comfort. Thanks for being with us today as we interview the world's top transit executives to bring you their insights about what's happening in their transit system and for the future of our industry. And today we're excited to enter into the world of the Middle East again. Our guest today is Mr. Esmaeel Hasan Al Blooshi. He is the Executive General Manager at the Ras Al Khaimah Emirates in the United Arab Emirates Transport Authority. They call it the RAK Transport Authority or RAK Transport Authority. And today he discusses the vision for transportation there in the Emirate as reliable, smart, and sustainable. It's their vision. It includes all kinds of exciting innovations, including rolling in taxi as part of the overall mobility solutions, e-bikes, e-scooters, plans for a high-speed ferry service, inter-city connections between the various city-states of the UAE, all that. You'll get a real in-depth look today with this interview with Mr. Esmaeel Hasan Al Blooshi on Transit Unplugged.
What does it mean to be a successful public transit agency? What are you doing to lead the way? It's time to learn from the top transit professionals in This is Transit Unplugged with your host, Paul Comfort.
Welcome to Transit Unplugged. I'm your host, Paul Comfort. Great to be with you today on another edition of the world's leading transit podcast, Transit Unplugged. And today we head to the Middle East in an interview with the leader of one of the large upcoming transit systems in the United Arab Emirates, Esmaeel Hasan Al Blooshi. Thank you so much for being with us today, Esmaeel.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for hosting me in this international podcast.
Wonderful to have you with us. And I know you're famous there in the UAE, but after this, people in 99 countries will know about you. So we're excited to hear about all the things you've got going on there. Some our listeners who are regular listeners around the world will recall that recently we had another interview with the Ahmad Hasham Barazan, who is the head of the CEO of Dubai RTA, which is one of the cities in the United Arab Emirates. And for those in the Western world, they may not be totally familiar with the United Arab Emirates. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about how they work, that the city states and the structure and all that, and then I'd like to ask you a little bit about your own background.
Yeah, we here in United Arab Emirates, it's about 7 Emirates united together. We have one ruler who's His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He's the ruler of UAE, and all of the Emirates, they have their own rulers, and all of us is working as a whole united country.
That's wonderful. And so the people can place it geographically, where in the Middle East is it? Kind of, can you tell us where it's at?
Actually, we are in the middle of Middle East, connecting the Asia with Europe and United States. In the world maps, we are in the middle, and UAE Ras Al Khaimah is the northmost of the 7 Emirates, which lies in the north, and all of us actually connected, united, and smoothly you can transfer from each Emirates.
That's great. And you have a lot of waterfront there, right? Don't you have a great beach area and everything?
Oh, we have a wonderful beaches. Actually, Ras Al Khaimah has almost 64 kilometers of beaches and terracotta deserts. And also Ras Al Khaimah has a diverse landscape.
That's wonderful. So Ras Al Khaimah Emirate, one of the 7 Emirates in the UAE, and you're the head of the transportation program there. That's wonderful. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you came to have this position.
Yeah, actually, 12 years of experiences, most of it in transportation. Glad and fortunately, I worked with RAK Transport Authority in Dubai for more than 5 years. And I'm holding actually a bachelor degree in civil engineering from American University of Sharjah. And also I have a master degree on engineering management. Most of my experience in transportation worked, as I said, 5 years there in Dubai, as a director of strategy and business development, and I have been moved to Ras Al Khaimah for 2 years now as a general manager for transportation, trying one of the youth leader. Actually, our government and Ras Al Khaimah government especially give us the empowerment and delegation to execute their vision, Ras Al Khaimah Vision 2030, especially in transportation. I'm here now to execute Ras Al Khaimah strategy 2020-2025 in transportations, try to achieve the ultimate goals and try to uh, make the transportation here in Ras Al Khaimah reliable, smart, and sustainable.
That's great. So what is the vision? What is the vision that you're implementing there?
Yeah, our vision is aligned with Ras Al Khaimah government vision. Our vision is to provide for the tourists, for the residential people, to the Ras Al Khaimah visitors, a reliable, smart, sustainable transportation. Allow them to move from destination to another destination smoothly with a multiple transportation modes. And these transportation modes should integrate to each other in order to build a solid infrastructure in transportation, which help the city to grow.
That's great. So about how many people are in what you normally call it RAK, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. RAK is almost 350,000 as a population. We are also 1,680 kilometer square. Ras Al Khaimah is, as I said, is the northmost of the 7 Emirates that make up the United Arab Emirates. It's known for its rich history, dated back 7,000 years, and diverse landscape. In Ras Al Khaimah, you can have a unique experience, especially when you have a 64 kilometer of beaches, when you have a terracotta deserts, when you have an amazing mountains. Actually, we are the home for the largest zip line worldwide. It's
Really?
almost, yeah, it's almost 3 kilometer, and this experience is really unique. And also, Ras Al Khaimah vision is to be the Ras Al Khaimah city. Vision is to be one of the business service players and to be the host for the tourist also. At the Emirates economic, here lies multiple major companies and diverse sectoral interests, including manufacturers and tourists and tourism. Major companies are here in Ras Al Khaimah, which is like RAK Ceramic, RAK Ports, RAK Rock, and many other companies. Uh,
That's great.
fortunately, yeah, fortunately, for more than a decade, Ras Al Khaimah has been consistently rated as an A, range by Fitch and Standard Poor international rating agency, and already the Emirate is home to more than 20,000 of businesses from 100 countries, representing over 50 industries. And glad to say that Ras Al Khaimah course is also the fastest court in the world enforcing contracts in commercial disputes. All of these facts are here in Ras Al Khaimah, and you can also experience a very unique experiences like having going to actually to the zip line, going to hiking, to have 5 stars hotels lying on the beaches. So really, Ras Al Khaimah, I advise you and the listeners to visit Ras Al Khaimah.
I'd love to. Once we can travel again, maybe Matthew Brownlee, my colleague, and I can come there and hang out for a few days with you. That'd be fun. See your operations. So tell us about your operations, Esmaeel. Tell us about the public transit operations and what you have there, and then maybe what's coming.
Yeah. In Ras Al Khaimah now, we have public transportation, especially the intercity buses. Intercity buses is linking Ras Al Khaimah to other 7 Emirates.
Okay.
We have buses that goes to other Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and other Emirates, Sharjah, Ajman, and Al Quwain. Every hour there is a trip goes to these Emirates. So this is one of our main services here, to link Ras Al Khaimah and to be as a hub to be linked with other Emirates. Also, we have a fleet of taxis, which is 850 taxis that providing a taxi services here in Ras Al Khaimah. And we have mainly now 3 public bus routes, but this project has been approved by the government, and this project will be expanded. And inshallah, this year we will have a new public bus project which will link whole Ras Al Khaimah from this city center to other areas. These 3 main routes will have 12 buses to serve them, and we will have 4 main stations, let us say main hubs, and 55 bus stops. So actually here in Ras Al Khaimah, as a transportation, we have 2 main services, which is public bus and taxis.
Okay. And what type of buses are you going to do? Electric or zero emission buses?
Yes, for sure. Our vision here is to be sustainable. We will try to implement the electrical buses, but in the beginning, we'll try to have the most sustainable buses, which is 05, in order to be implemented here in Ras Al Khaimah, as per the government vision that all of our transportation should be sustainable. The great things about this one, we have a great initiatives during the pandemic that we launch a RAK bus application. That RAK bus applications allow our customer to book their seats, to see the buses and track them. Not only that, they can pay their tickets online. This application is a pioneer here in UAE, because this is the first application for intercity buses in UAE. Actually, we did that and we launched it during the pandemic, almost on May 2019, in May 2020, because of we don't want the people to wait on the stations, and we don't want them to have a contact with the cashiers. That's why they can use the RAK bus applications just to book their tickets and come before their trips, 5 minutes before the trips, and have their trips safely.
So I know that RAK is a popular tourist destination. A lot of folks from Europe and other places come there. How has that demographic of tourism, how has that impacted your plans for public transportation? Are you focused on serving them or your own citizens, or both, or how has that impacted it? And then maybe we can talk about the if any impact that COVID has had on your services.
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, when we are planning our master plan in transportations and integrating the public bus services and the taxis, always we are putting one of our main inputs in our studies is to see the tourists and how much tourists are visiting Ras Al Khaimah. We have almost, before the pandemic, 1 million tourists who's visiting Ras Al Khaimah and enjoying their stay here in Ras Al Khaimah. So all of these is one of our main inputs in the studies, and we are trying to increase our taxis based on this number and other factors for sure, and try to do this the public transportation services, especially in bus. That's why the government approves the new master plan, which is especially for bus services, which linked also the 5-star hotels and the other hotels and the tourist destination to the city center, which will help them to move to Ras Al Khaimah and their tourist destinations smoothly. Not only that, also we launch a collaboration with Careem applications, which is similar to Uber here, and pretty sure that you know Careem. This Careem is providing limousine service and taxi service for the tourists and residential people here in Ras Al Khaimah, which allows them to move smoothly in Ras Al Khaimah.
Now, let me ask you about that connection. I think that's interesting. Here in the US, we don't have as much of a connection between public transit systems and taxis, but there it seems like you do. Is that right? You consider the taxi service kind of an integral part of your overall mobility plan?
For sure. And in order to have that, honestly, you have to have a solid transportation infrastructure systems. But actually, we now having a RAK bus applications. This RAK bus applications, we will have a lot of data from it, and this data we'll try to fill it in a platform. That platforms has also another inputs of data from taxi sectors. These data will be talking to each other in that systems and integrating each other's. These data will take it and put it as a main input in our transportation master plan. Also this year, we are launching a smart meters for all of our taxis. Smart meters will allow us and we will take data from it. Where are the heat map in Ras Al Khaimah? We will know from this smart meter projects how many trips we have 7 a.m. in the morning and where are the locations. All of these data, for example, will be taken from this smart meter, will be filled on the transportation systems, especially in Operation Control Center, OCC. That system will be a collective for taxi sector's data, public transportation's data, limousine data. It will be analyzed in order to take the best decision of how to make all of them integrated to each other.
Very good. That's very interesting. The mobility services like Uber, like you mentioned, or Lyft, the other company, a lot of transit systems are starting to connect with them, but not so many with taxis. So it's a good example of how you're using existing resources, your big taxi fleets, which a lot of cities have, and really creating a role for them in the overall mobility of your city. I think that's wonderful. What else is happening? Do you have any other future plans coming, rail or metro or ferry or maybe your innovation hub? Let's talk about what's coming.
Yeah, regarding our marine services, in RAK Transport Authority, we are the authority who's regulating the marine services here in Ras Al Khaimah. And the government of Ras Al Khaimah approved the master plan for marine services. It includes 3 phases actually. And it's the first phases will have 5 main stations in Mangrove Creek and Ras Al Khaimah. These 5 stations will be 2 stations will be even connecting 2 malls together because all of them are lying in Creek of Ras Al Khaimah. These 5 stations will be linked with a traditional Abra service. This will be our first phase of marine service. Next phase will be linking this Greek of Ras Al Khaimah to another 15 kilometer, almost 15 kilometer, which we call Min Al Arab and Al Marjan Island, with a ferry services. So ferry services will be linking 2 destinations, almost 15 kilometer. In Marjan Island, we have a wonderful 5-star hotels lying on the beaches. So the tourists can go with a ferry from Al Marjan Island to a Greek area and even have a tour and a taxi services there in the Greek of Ras Al Khaimah. The third phase will be linking Ras Al Khaimah, these 2 areas, to another Emirates, which is Ajman and Dubai and Sharjah, hopefully in the future with a ferry services. So this marine service and this master plan will be inshallah implemented starting from this year, and this marine services will be aligned with other transportation services, which is taxi and public buses in Ras Al Khaimah. Also, great to say that we having other mobility solutions like e-scooter and e-bicycles. And Ras Al Khaimah, we just started e-scooters and e-bicycles as an entertainment, to be honest, just to raise the culture of e-scooters and using e-bicycles in Ras Al Khaimah. So we have now e-bicycles lies in five places in Ras Al Khaimah, in Corniche area, in Al Marjan Island, in Al Hamra area. Later on, after we finish the first phase of the public bus project, we will have, as I said, 5 main stations and 55 bus stops. We will try to integrate the e-bicycles with these bus stops to be a solution for first and last mile for the people here in Ras Al Khaimah. Not only that, honestly, we are trying here to have one platform for transportations. This is one of our ultimate goal, and inshallah in 2025 we try to have that one transport platform in Ras Al Khaimah. This platform will make life of the residents, life of the tourists in Ras Al Khaimah easy. They can download that platform and make their journey easily in Ras Al Khaimah. If they want to use a public bus, if they want to use mobility solutions like Carry, if they want to use a taxi or marine service or other mobility solutions like e-scooter and bicycles. So we are trying to put transportation here in Ras Al Khaimah, as we said, reliable, smart, sustainable, linking and making that connectivity for the people and smoothly movement here in Ras Al Khaimah. One of our also ultimate goals is for the rental sector. Ras Al Khaimah, for the rental sectors, one of our main projects here is to have a platform for the rent-a-car companies.
Okay.
RAK Transport Authority is responsible to regulate this sector. We have this idea is to allow people to have a platform, one single platform, which hosting all of our rental companies to be on that platform. Make the life easy for the tourists. When they come to Ras Al Khaimah, they can rent a car easily from the airport using that applications, even if they are even in the staying in their hotels. So we have many projects here in Ras Al Khaimah in the future just to make transportation easy for the people.
That's wonderful. I think the improving the customer experience is actually one of the big trends right now throughout public transportation industry. As ridership has declined in many major cities around the world because of COVID and the lockdowns that governments have imposed and not allow people to work in their offices anymore. Now coming out of that, I'm hearing things just what you said, that now we have to attract people to get back on the vehicles. And one way to do that is to make it easier for them, to make one platform where they can interconnect with all the mobility options. Tell me about your scooters a little bit. You mentioned bikes and told me about how you were going to implement them. Do you already have scooters in place, or is that something you're planning to do?
We have scooters on a place. We have it now in 5 places in Ras Al Khaimah.
Okay.
In Al Marjan Island, in Al Corniche, and we have it also in Al Hamra area. These are a famous tourist area in Ras Al Khaimah. And we actually, the utilization is very high, and we have been shocked from the data we got. We have almost more than 3,000 booking per week here in Ras Al Khaimah, comparing with the population and comparing with a new type of, let us say, exactly, which is the e-scooter. So our first goal is to enhance the culture of using the e-scooter. Later, we will put it with the e-bike to have a master plan and to integrate it with the other population, with other transportation modes to be a solution for the first and last mile.
Yes.
So our first goal is to raise the culture of utilization and usage of these e-scooters.
Very good. And what about rail? Do you have any plans for any kind of rail or metro system?
Actually, the Etihad Rail will have a destination here in Ras Al Khaimah, which is linking all Emirates together. It will be from Abu Dhabi to Ras Al Khaimah and Al Fujairah, which will link all Emirates together. Until our strategy from 2020 to 2025, still we don't have metro or rail in our studies. We're trying to first of all develop the other transportation modes like public bus and taxi sectors and other mobility solution sectors. And based, as you know, when you have a metro and you have a rail, you have to have a bigger city, bigger populations, many places to be linked to each other. Now in Ras Al Khaimah, we don't have that traffic. You can easily move from a destination to another. So it will be there, hopefully, inshallah, after 2025.
That's wonderful. And the last thing I wanted to ask you about was this innovation hub that you're thinking about and having the services be profitable. Tell us about that. Innovation is always a key driver on what's happening in the mobility sphere.
Yeah, we are glad actually to have here now in RAKTA an innovation hub platform. This innovations allows the employees to give ideas, not only the employees, also the customer, to give their feedback, to give an innovative idea. That innovation will have a clear process. If their idea were great, profitable, it will be implemented, and we have a policy for that. The customer or the employee who gave us a great idea, he will be rewarded as per the policy and the procedure that put for the innovation. We're trying to make all of our service profitable, especially the taxi and public bus services. We are trying to study all of our operation costs, making it providing a very qualified services, reasonable service, reliable services, based on the cost and based on the how we can make these services profitable. So the Innovation Hub is actually a platform that's receiving all the ideas from our customers, from our employees, and we are glad to have on 2020 more than 500 ideas coming from employees and customers. All of these ideas have been studied, and let us say more than 30% of them were great ideas, and 10% of them has been implemented. Let us say one of the ideas coming from customer is to have an application for public bus. That's why we tried. It was like the beginning of 2020. We immediately took that idea and implemented on May by introducing and launching RAK bus applications.
That's wonderful. Anything else you want to tell us about your system before we close up today?
Thank you very much, and for hosting me here. And our ultimate goals in RAK Transport Authority to have an integrated transportation systems, easy to be used by residents, people, tourists, and visitors here in Ras Al Khaimah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Esmaeel Hasan Al Blooshi, Executive General Manager at RAK Transportation Authority. So innovative, the things you're coming up with. We appreciate the opportunity to hear from you today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
You've been listening to Transit Unplugged, powered by Trapeze Group. To stay up to date, subscribe on iTunes or Google Play, or join the conversation at transitunplugged.com. Thanks for listening.